Well, folks, good evening to you, one and all. Season 15, round number 10, Honda HPDs at Suzuka. Yep, the Suzuka circuit. Can you believe it? That's going to be something else. Always, always, always an exciting place to race. And with these Honda HPDs, well, just about anything is possible, I would tend to think. So let's have a look, see exactly who is going to be out there this evening. Starting off with the likes of Willem Botha, Captain Peter van der Spey, the being IT man Leon van Wyk, fastest accountant in South Africa, NI Racing, Timothy Stanton. Super Senior, Johan Engelbrecht. Mr. Gerald Fourie in the golf colors out there tonight. One of the newer kids on the block who has acquitted himself exceptionally well, Christian van Wyk. Mr. Nice Guy, Super Senior, Robbie Teens. The main circuit guru, the man himself, Johan Fourie. Back out there again tonight, the Super Senior jet setter, Sandro Bakari. The man in green, maybe we must refer to him as Hulk, JJ van der Merwe, always out there in his favorite color. Leonardo Bakari, who was at the self-same wedding last week as Sandro Bakari. That's why they missed out on the racing. And then the man from Induction Noise, powered by ROWE Lubricants, Neil Lamprecht is going to be out there as well. So you'll see Timothy Stanton. He's working his way around pretty quickly. He's Timothy Stanton. And Willem Botha. Oh, Willem Botha momentarily. That's my word for tonight. Willem Botha momentarily. So Johan Fourie decides it's time to go to the front end of the pack. 22 thousandths of a second quicker than Gerald Fourie. And then 4 tenths back to the man from Induction Noise. That's Neil Lamprecht. Coming back from Neil Lamprecht, just a little bit further back, the man that was for a moment on the front row. Willem Botha, that was momentarily on the front row of the grid, in fact in pole position, gets banged back to 6th. Wow, the boys are in town. Timothy Stanton just behind Willem Botha. Sandro Bakari, the leading Super Senior right now. Look at Johan Fourie. Not only is he the fastest man out there right now, but he also has got a couple of purple sectors going. Sandro Bakari's on the move. Is he going to give the youngsters, if you want to call it that, a bit of a hiding again this evening? Sandro Bakari comes through. Is he going to bump himself up a little bit closer towards the front end of the pack? No, he's not able to. But Willem Botha is fighting back. Willem Botha is fighting back big time. He's now within 4 tenths of Johan Fourie. That has gone even quicker. So Johan Fourie on a 146.50. Willem Botha that you see there on screen is on a 146.92. smack bang to 100th, to 1,000th. Leon van Wyk, 146.92. 200ths behind that, Gerald Furry. Now think about it. 200ths, it's, sorry, 600ths of a second. 600ths of a second takes Gerald for 700ths of a second. It's going to take Gerald Furry and put him alongside Johan Furry on the front row of the grid. Now, is that not motivation to make sure you're pretty quick out there? JJ van der Merwe's in the house. It's open season tonight. It is open season. Look at this one. Peter van der Spey, quicker than Sandro Bakari, 0.9 of a second. The front 5 within 4 tenths. The front 6 within 5 tenths. The front 7 within 6 tenths. The front 8 within 9 tenths of a second. And Sandro Bakari is on the move. He's got a purple sector in there as well. 2 greens and a purple. Probably going to bump him up. Probably going to bump himself up, Sandro. No, he doesn't. He stays behind Peter van der Spey. Neil Lamprechts, the man from Induction Noise, says, go away, boys. Let me show you how to do this one. Johan Furry and Neil Lamprecht, 7 minutes 43 to this one. It's just going to be brilliant. JJ van der Merwe provisionally alongside Willem Botha. Johan Furry's gone into the pits. I think he thinks I'm fast enough. I can do this thing. It's not a problem. Leon van Wyk, as he works his way around. And Leon van Wyk's got a purple, 2 yellows and a green so far. Will that be enough for him to go quicker? I do believe that Robbie Teens is probably going to be quicker on this lap as he comes up towards the line. A 146.725. JJ van der Merwe now on the second row of the grid. That by 500ths of a second. And JJ van der Merwe knocks the man from Induction Noise, powered by ROWE Lubricants, off the front row of the grid. So who's the next man that's going to have it? Well, Sandro Bakari's pushing. Sandro Bakari's pushing hard. And he still finds himself behind Peter van der Spey. He's got a whole bunch of green sectors. So I do believe this is going to be a quicker one for him. I think Gerald Furry has got a bit of a problem with the car, or too much of an off track there. Let's see, can Sandro Bakari, super senior par excellence? Nope, he still can't beat out on Peter van der Spey. Peter van der Spey looking good as he comes around again, 9 minutes 20 as he works his way around. This is gonna be something else. As he works his way round nice and neatly. We're going to find out how that one plays itself out. 13 riders out there. JJ van der Merwe. Well, maybe. Can JJ get to pole position? Surely not. He holds on to that front row of the grid. Sandro Bakari, 2 green sectors, 2 yellow sectors. 10 minutes 24 into this one. Gerald Furry is in the pits. Timothy Stanton is in the pits as well. Robbie Teens is in the pits. Johan Furry is in the pits. So none of those guys are going to get any further opportunities to be out there on circuit. That is where their little session is going to end. JJ van der Merwe has not given up yet. He is still out there and pushing hard. Is he going to make it through for the... Yes, I think he'll be able to finish off this lap. Willem Botha gives it a last gasp effort, and oopsie, too hard for JJ. And he's going to park that one there. What about Leon van Wyk? Can he go any faster? Does not look like it at the moment. I don't believe it's going to be any quicker than what he's done previously. Where is Willem Botha on circuit? Willem's not going to be able to complete that. That Peter van der Spey, he's parked alongside the track. Christian van Wyk, he's just finished off his lap. Johan Engelbrecht comes across the line. Can he bump it up? No, a 147. That's as far as he's going to go. And Leonardo, yep, he won't be able to finish another lap either. As he will come around, and that means that the time is up. Well, that was interesting to say the least. That was brilliant stuff. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Johan Fourie from JJ van der Merwe. Leon van Wyk from Neil Lamprecht. Willem Botha and Gerald Fourie on the third row. Timothy Stanton from leading Super Senior. Peter van der Spey. Christian van Wyk. Sandro Bakari finds himself directly behind Peter van der Spey, with Robbie Teens directly behind him, and Johan Engelbrecht. And then at the back of the pack will be Leonardo Bakari. That's the way that it's going to play itself out right now. Oh man, this is going to be something else. Timothy Stanton is he's just joined in. We're waiting for Johan Engelbrecht. We don't have Johan Engelbrecht in on the screen yet. He's the only one that is not on screen. Johan Engelbrecht, is he going? Yep, there he is. He's in now. Johan Engelbrecht is in. There he stands. And it's just about time to go. The green lights is on, and the green lights is off, and away we go. And it doesn't look like JJ got a very good takeaway there at all. It's Leon van Wyk in the Being IT entry on the outside. JJ's going to probably hold out realistically in about a fourth position. It's Willem Botha that's directly in there behind him. Behind that is Neil Lamprecht. Then it's Gerald Fourie. Behind Gerald Fourie is Christian van Wyk. Then it's Timothy Stanton. Peter van der Spey, and he holds out on Sandro Bakari, but Johan Fourie from that P1 pole position. Leon van Wyk in the Being IT entries right in there behind him. JJ van der Merwe holding sway against Willem Botha. Through the kink they go. This flat foot all the way through there. You just got to hold on, grit your teeth, hold tight, and make sure that you make it through. Now, underneath the bridge they go. Linus Stern, Johan Fourie, looking very decent up front, doing what he does best, leading from the front end of the pack. From Leon van Wyk, JJ van der Merwe, Willem, Neil, Gerald, Christian, Timothy. Then the super seniors will start working their way through. And can you believe it? Peter van der Spey has defied all the odds, even though he had all the super seniors directly behind him. He held all of the super seniors directly behind him. He's got the hammer down, and he's holding on to the back end of the fastest accountant in South Africa, Timothy Stanton. And Timothy Stanton is giving Peter van der Spey a bit of a toe away from Sandro Bakari. That is exactly what he needs. We see a battle with Leonardo and Robbie Teens at the back end of the pack as Johan Fourie comes through the onto the straight he goes. That was from first corner, well, down towards first corner, should I say. That was the last curve and the Casio triangle that they came through. And in that fourth position, Willem Botha goes up the inside, and Willem Botha and JJ make contact. Willem Botha looks like he's backed out of that one, and he wants to give that position back to JJ van der Merwe. Now they will fight it out. They make contact a second time. So Willem Botha in the gentlemanly maneuver, he manages eventually to get that one right. But he's got Sandro Bakari that's now gone past as well. So kudos to Willem Botha doing the gentlemanly duty there and making sure that it's all fair in love and war. Johan, Leon, Gerald, Christian van Wyck's in the house from Timothy Stanton. Then Battle Royals, JJ, Sandro, Willem, Peter van der Spey, Johan Engelbrecht. So Sandro Bakari has now made up a little bit of a gap. Peter van der Spey very quickly on the gas to get out of the corner. And so that was Johan Engelbrecht. There is Peter van der Spey. Peter van der Spey is pushing Willem Botha to the limits. Willem's got to close that line off. So not only has Willem Botha dropped a little bit back, it's also that situation has got Sandro Bakari ahead of the man that started directly behind him. There we can see what the gaps are. So Peter van der Spey, he looks out his front window. It's all happening in that big TV screen in front of him. Oh, there was somebody standing on the side of the circuit. Not sure who that was. Somebody that backed out completely. He's got somebody alongside him now as well. Oh, it's Johan Engelbrecht that's gone through. And Peter van der Spey decides it's time to go into the pits. JJ has gone in. Willem Botha has gone in. Peter van der Spey has gone in. Timothy Stanton has got damage to his motor car. Timothy Stanton has gone into the pits as well. So not a great night so far. Let's have a look, see what this pit lane looks like. Alright. Select first gear, keep the revs nice and smooth. That car that's just stopped in front of him, that's Timothy Stanton. He's definitely got problems with that motor car. As they come out side by side onto the track, that's Willem Botha. They said, just hold on a sec, young man, let me just come through here. And Willem Botha has been in and out of the pits as we ride on board with Peter van der Spey, super senior, in action as he works his way through the snake. And then it'll be the anti-bunker curve. Take that long left Dunlop all the way through that long sweeping Dunlop corner. Now they're going to come towards Dagener curve underneath the track, going up towards the hairpin. Let's do a lap here with Peter van der Spey. Through the hairpin they go. Now through Spoon Curve, all the way up the hill. Very tricky part of the circuit, this. Climb on the brakes. You can carry a lot of speed in, but then it takes you right towards the outside. You've got to late apex on that corner, and short change normally is the way to go, which is exactly what Peter van der Spey did as we sit on board with Peter van der Spey in there behind Willem Botha. The most of the front runners doing 1 minute 47s at the moment, up to 8,000 RPM, and Peter van der Spey is holding on very neatly to the back end of Willem Botha. Well, there Willem Botha goes through that section of the track very well through Casio Triangle and last curve, and that was a lap with Mr. Peter van der Spey. But up front it's all about that man Johan Fourie. Doing a lovely job is Johan Fourie in the 114, the Rothmans colours. Behind Johan Fourie, once again doing the follow-up exceptionally well. It is what he does. Leon van Wyk is the last man you want on your tail, because once Leon van Wyk locks in missile lock on the back end of you, you cannot shake Leon van Wyk off. If he gets there, he sits there. Gerald Fourie having gotten through the traffic. Christian van Wyk once again in a commanding top 5 position. Sandro Bakari from Robbie Teens, Leonardo Bakari, and then Johan Engelbrecht. But having said that, pit stops from Johan Engelbrecht back to Neil Lamprecht. That makes Neil Lamprecht the leading man in and out of the pits. Behind him comes JJ van der Merwe. Behind that comes Willem Botha and Peter van der Spey. And then a long way back, so that damage on his car cost him very badly with Timothy Stanton. Just took so much time. Let's just have a look, see what happened with Timothy Stanton. Oh, the back end gets away, hammers it into the barrier. Oh, the whole left-hand front suspension's gone. Remember when that whole pack of cars went through, we said, oh my goodness, there's somebody standing on the left-hand side of the circuit. That was Timothy Stanton with the M&M car, trying to get that one back to the pits. If he had teleported back to the pits, he would have lost what he had done on that portion of the lap, which was virtually a full lap. But that puts Timothy Stanton the better part of 15 seconds further back. Johan Ferry, a man with a 7,152 IR rating, with a license rating of 4.78, the highest rating of everybody in this race, leading out from the magnet. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. Leon van Wyk, the magnet, the man that holds on to the back end of whatever's in front of him and doesn't give up. Oh, nice dash on the left-hand side. The Honda HPD, that's Suzuka circuit. 5 of the 15 laps. Almost into 9 minutes of the 25. That's 1.3 seconds looks like. That's how far you can travel with this Honda HPD. Honda power behind you. Nice and smooth. Keeping it all together through the snake. The anti-banks curve up into Dunlop. Just keep on climbing. Keep on climbing. Keep on turning. Flat foot in 4th gear through the Dunlop curve. Now we're going to go down to Dagener, through Dagener, underneath the bridge, up the hill towards the hairpin. And it literally, it's called the hairpin because, whoopsie, it is the hairpin. That is looking pretty good for him. What a lovely time. Just listen to those revs. Running it up to 9,500 RPM as we ride on board with Leon van Wyk. But it looks like Leonardo Beccari is in close proximity there to Robbie Teams. Just a second off Robbie Teams. That's just a little bit further back on track. So Neil Lamprecht, in real terms, leads out everybody in and out of the pits. The man from Induction Noise, powered by ROWE Lubricants. And that ahead of JJ van der Merwe, who qualified so well. Very, very close between them. Nothing much in terms of pace. Leonardo Beccari on Robbie Teens, getting closer and closer and closer. Leonardo says, come on Robbie, you get a move on, boy, otherwise I'm going to go and fetch my brother. Leonardo, I must say, Leonardo's had a pretty good season so far. As we keep an eye on this beautiful dice. Let's have a look at the front end of the field. It's Johan Ferry, who's now getting a bit of a gap on Leon van Wyk. There comes Gerald Ferry. Next one through will be Sandro Beccari. Remember, these guys, none of them have been into the pits yet. None of them have been into the pits. Let's have a look at the gains and losses. Well, from the top end down, Johan Ferry, been there, done that. Leon van Wyk started on the second row of the grid. He's moved himself from third right up to that second position. As always, Gerald Ferry's always on the move. Leon van Wyk has gone past Johan Ferry. Where is Johan Ferry? Into the pits goes Johan Ferry. Well, did Johan Verree have an off? Because Leon van Wyk actually got past him. Let's have a look, see quickly what happened to Johan Engelbrecht. He had an incident a little bit earlier on. Yep, that's in the hairpin. Alright, so something must have happened to Johan Verree, because look at the distance between himself and Leon van Wyk, the magnet. Oh! Well, make a recording of that, because it's very seldom, if ever, that you see Johan Verree make any form of errors out there on circuit, and he decides it's time to dive straight back into the pits. So where is Johan Verree now? He finds himself, whoa, well done, Johan Verree, 5 ahead of the next man that has been in and out of the pits. Johan Verree ahead of the man from Induction Noise, powered by ROWE Lubrication. It's Johan Verree that is doing a lovely job, but then again, right up front is Leon van Wyk, and he's 3. Now remember this number, 3.4. Lap number 8 of 15, 14 minutes into 25. Leon van Wyk ahead of Johan Verree, that's just suffered that one spin. We know that he can hold on to the back of Johan Verree. There's no doubt about that. The magnet, the being IT man. But can Johan Verree close up on the back of Leon van Wyk as Gerald Verree goes into the pits? Leon van Wyk does not want to get stuck behind Robbie Teens. Robbie Teens will probably go into the pits now to negate any possibility of problems there. And like that. So he does the gentlemanly thing. He says, I'm not going to hold you up. Gerald Verree is standing in the pits. Well, there's Leon van Wyk. Leon van Wyk's going to go through. Gerald Verree is on his way out of the pits. Where is Robbie Teens has gone in? Where's Neil Lamprecht? Oh, Gerald Verree's ahead of Neil Lamprecht. And then there comes JJ. Behind JJ is Christian. Then it is Peter van der Spey ahead of Sandro Bakari. That is going to be a ding-dong battle. Peter van der Spey and Sandro Bakari. Peter van der Spey's got the bit between his teeth. He ain't taking no for an answer on this one. Not at all. Let's listen to how he plays with that accelerator. Working his way through the snake. Now through Dunlop. Oh, quite a lot of dirt on the track there. Somebody must have gone off around about that part of the circuit. Not a mark on the motor car. Just plods that accelerator. Well, Peter van der Spey, the leading super senior. 0.6 of a second in it. Looking very good. So right now, with everybody having been in and out of the pits, it's Leon van Wyk. And remember I said what the gap was? Well, forget about what the gap was. Johan Verree's gone hunting. Johan Verree has got it down to 1.7 seconds. What a drive. Johan Verree, 5th gear. Cross the line he goes. Into first corner. Oh, he was a little bit early on the turn in there. Preempted that one. Through the snake. Left-hander. Right-hander. Set it up on the right-hand side of the circuit. Left-hander. Right-hander. Keep on turning. Keep on turning. Now it's all left. Dunlop. And more Dunlop. And more Dunlop. Open up slightly. Turn it in again. More Dunlop. Keep on turning. Keep on turning. Down towards the Dagener curve. Dip it in. Climb on the gas nice and early. 1.6 seconds. Johan Verree's hunting into the hairpin. comes through there nice and tight, normal Johan Ferry style. Nice and tight on that inside curbstone, smooth on the gas for 1.4 seconds. Johan Ferry on the magnet in front, the being IT entry of a Leon van Wyk. Very smooth through there, perfect throttle control for 1.4 seconds. Johan Ferry, 1.4 seconds. Leon van Wyk is driving his life here. He's driving his heart out. There you can see the gap between the two of them. Johan Ferry closes up under braking. Gap opens up slightly under acceleration. Leon van Wyk 2 up. Johan Ferry 1 down. Well, with that one mistake of Johan Ferry, that is what has made the difference. Not far behind them is Gerald Ferry, the man from Induction Noise, Neil Lamprecht. The green mean machine is JJ, then the blue and purple, that is Christian, then comes the super seniors, the green and black, that's Peter van der Spey, in there behind him, that flying dot, that is Sandro Bakari. Then there's a realistic gap behind that, back to the rest of the pack, Robbie Teens, Leonardo Bakari, the recovering Timothy Stanton that had that whole left-hand front suspension ripped out. Then only do we see Willem Botha. Disaster for Willem Botha. Exactly what he did not want, need, desire or feel would be a good result for him. But the pressure's on for that man. Remember I said 1.4? Make that 1 second. When you look back and you see, oh my goody gracious, here he comes. His name's Johan Ferry. 19 minutes 43 into this 25 minutes. Can the magnet stay at the front end of the pack? Johan Ferry is catching, of that there's no doubt. Johan Ferry is very, very quick. If we look at the last lap, Leon van Wyk did a 147.18. Johan Ferry did a 146.90. In terms of fastest lap, there's 2/10 between the two of them. In terms of who's done the fastest lap, and the fastest lap is in fact by Johan Ferry. If you take the two of them on back-to-back, 20.5 minutes that he's gone. Leon van Wyk driving for his life. What else can you do other than sit, concentrate, deep breathe, sweat it out? Try not to be nervous. Try not to double guess and double think yourself through Dunlop corner. Taking the curves. Crossover. Look in your mirror. Oh dear, he's getting closer, he says. He's getting closer. Oh, there's a lot of dirt there. Riding on board with Leon van Wyk. And closing all the time is Johan Ferry. Lap 12. 21 and almost a half a minute for Leon van Wyk. Being closed down, he cannot afford to make any mistakes. He cannot afford to make any mistakes at all. He's got to hold out on that one. Leon van Wyk from Johan Ferry. Here comes Neil Lamprecht. JJ is on the move as well. Two of them very close to one another. JJ that has dropped down 2 positions. Had a brilliant qualifying, did JJ van der Merwe. Neil that's gone 1 up. The man from Induction Noise, powered by ROWE Lubrication. They've got a bit of a gap between themselves and Christian van Wyk. Christian van Wyk, that's right in there behind Gerald Ferry. Oh, Gerald Ferry's going to be a hard push. Christian says, where are you going? I'll go the other way. Battle of the Giants. Gerald Fourie and Christian van Wyk, nothing much in it. Timothy Stanton is trying to do the comeback move on the comeback kid, Robbie Teens. And it looks like Timothy Stanton's going to make that one. For position in the race. They are in the same race, but in two different championships, two different leagues, Masters and Grand Masters. Lovely dice going on between them. Johan Fourie having closed up to the back of Leon van Wyk. And the Magnet still leads out. Catching Leon van Wyk is one thing. Passing him, now that's another. Now the question comes into play. How much stability is Johan Fourie losing when he gets too close to the back end of Leon the Magnet van Wyk? Is that maybe not why he's caught up so quickly and cannot do anything further than that? Is that a carbon copy of why Leon was sitting on the back end of Johan and couldn't go anything more than stick there by him, and the white flag comes out? It's pressure time. We've got to stick with this one. Can Leon van Wyk beat out on Johan Fourie? This is it. It's for all the marbles in the packet. Through first corner they go. Into the snake. It's a left. It's a right. It's going to be another left. And another right. Through a bit of a dip. Now start that climb. Dunlop corner. Keep on going. Keep on turning. It's almost a double. You like straighten out a bit and then you turn in again. It's like the Sarel van der Merwe sweep at Kalani International. It's a double right-hander, but you make one to... Oh! That could cost. That could cost, because Leon went pretty wide. He was right on the top of the curbstone. That brings Johan Fourie right in underneath the back bumper. Can the Magnet hold out just a little bit longer? Up the hill he goes. He cannot make a mistake under braking going into the hairpin. This is the last, or the second last heavy braking point. Through the corner they go. So far so good. Get it nice and smooth. Get the power down. And Johan Fourie is coming. Johan Fourie is coming and he's closing. And Johan Fourie is closing. Can he go for a last gas braking effort into the last corner as they go towards Casio Triangle? I think Leon's got it. I think Leon's got it. Climbs the curbstone. Johan Fourie goes for that last move. Johan Fourie's all over. He's underneath the back bumper as they come across the line. It will go to Leon van Wyk ahead of Johan Fourie. Well done, Leon van Wyk. That was brilliant stuff. Neil Lamprechts, the man from ROWE Oils, comes through. JJ van der Merwe, brilliant drive by JJ van der Merwe. Christian van Wyk once again in the top 5 for Christian van Wyk, ahead of Gerald Fourie. Whoa. Sander Bakari leads out the super seniors. The recovering Timothy Stanton from Robbie Teens. Leonardo Bakari. Willem Botha will not be happy. And then Johan Engelbrecht that comes across the line. So Peter van der Spey gets logged in there as last position. That's a big, big knock. Oh wait, he must have been lapped, because there it shows him in the right position again. So let's have a look at that results then. Okay, so first of all, let's have a look at the quali. Let's just clean the rest of the screen there for you. So it was Johan and JJ, Leon and Neil and Willem and Gerald. Okay, let's have a look at heat number 1. Leon swaps with Johan, Neil still there, and JJ. Timothy drops down a bit. Okay, I'm going to make a call on this one. Johan Fourie, brilliant, as always, the pace setter. Just that one mistake. But you know what? I think Leon van Wyk deserves driver of race number 1. He could hold on to Johan, and when Johan had that one error, and he went past, and he got a 4.2 second gap, if I remember correctly, was closed down by Johan Fourie, but then he still managed to... Could he have held Johan much longer? Well, we'll never know because the flare came down. So driver of that one, Leon van Wyk. I still don't know exactly why Peter van der Spey dropped right down towards the back end of the pack. I think bad luck there will go to Willem Botha. Alright, we're going to take a short break and we're going to come back to you with race number 2. And a massive big thanks to Induction Noise, powered by ROWE Lubricants, our series sponsor for season 15. Time for race number 2. Let's see how that grid is going to look. Johan Engelbrecht and Willem Botha. Oh boy. Johan Engelbrecht with Leonardo Beccari directly behind him. That is going to be something else. Man, oh man. Here comes yet another biggie. Johan Engelbrecht, Willem Botha, Leonardo Beccari, Robbie Teens, Timothy Stanton needs to make this one work. Sandro Beccari, and I think you're probably going to find Peter van der Spey is going to be coming off the back end of the pack. It's going to cost him very dearly. Johan Fourie and Leon van Wyk in 11th and 12th position as we get off the line for race number 2, and down towards turn number 1 they're going to go. There's a long shot down into turn number 1. And it's going to be Willem Botha that's going to take advantage of this one. Willem Botha takes good advantage and makes sure that he gets a hold of that front end of the pack. But look at the mid-pack. They're so close to one another. Leonardo Beccari finds himself now in that 5th position. Battle Royal going on just behind him, with Christian van Wyk, Sandro Beccari, Johan Fourie. I'm pretty sure Johan Fourie is going to go on the move pretty quickly. He's got a bit of a gap behind him as Johan Fourie is going to go on the outside line. Diving up on the inside is Neil Lovebrack taking that chance. JJ finds himself off the back end of the pack still, with Peter van der Spey that's managed to get past him. But that mid-pack battle, that is awesome. Oh, that was very, very close. And he backs right out of that one. Make sure he doesn't make contact with anybody. Leon van Wyk find himself behind Sander Bakari. Johan Fourie has got 2 cars now between himself and Leon, his biggest competition with this car on this track. As we keep an eye on that mid-pack battle, Robbie Teens, Leonardo Bakari, Timothy Stanton climbs out. Timothy Stanton climbs out, and the normal move for Johan Fourie. It's Timothy Stanton, Johan Fourie, Leon van Wyk, Peter van der Spey, and JJ van der Merwe that has all dived into the pits. Everybody's linked into their pit rev limiters. Who's going to be the first to get out of the pits in this group? Will it be Johan Fourie? Should be Johan Fourie. Oh, look at that. Timothy Stanton says, I'll blitz you all. And Timothy Stanton gets out first on that group. Timothy Stanton with Leon, Peter, Johan, and JJ behind that. Well done, the pit stop king, Timothy Stanton. Willem Botha says, do whatever you guys want. I don't care, as he goes through the hairpin. He's got him all set up there behind him. He's got Johan Engelbrecht as a bit of a buffer between himself and Gerald Fourie. How long can Johan Engelbrecht hold out with the golf-coloured car in the hands of Gerald Fourie? Pity that Leighton's not out there today. Would have been fantastic if he had joined in this evening as well. Gerald Fourie gonna be on the move. Johan Engelbrecht knows he's going to have to run very defensive lines if he's going to hold Gerald Fourie out. Gerald tried to get the extra pace around the outside, dives it up on that inside line. Split second millimeter precision by Gerald Fourie. And he makes his way past Johan Engelbrecht. But Johan Engelbrecht's got a reasonable gap behind him to the next man. Looking back from Johan Engelbrecht, that's the distance back to Robbie Teens. So it's quite a big one. He's quite safe. Oh, it's Christian van Wyk that has now got past Robbie Teens. Leon van Wyk has been off track. Yep, he ran it completely wide there, trying to go up on the inside, well, actually on the outside of Timothy Stanton, but he managed to make that one happen. And Leon van Wyk has now got himself past Neil Lamprechts as well. Around the front end he goes as they came out of the pits. So that's how that one's played itself out. So the man that started at the front end of the pack, Willem Botha, that's the gap he's got back to Gerald Fourie. Willem Botha, Gerald Fourie. Johan Engelbrecht's having a stonker of a race right now. Christian van Wyk, Robbie Teens, Leonardo Bakari, Sandro Bakari, and Johan Engelbrecht is the man of the moment. Johan Engelbrecht starting into front end of the pack on the front row. Here comes Leon van Wyk, 24 seconds further back. But remember, Leon's leading out the guys that have been in and out of the pits. Leon van Wyk from Neil Lamprechts, from Timothy Stanton's right there. Fastest lap by Willem Botha. Time to up, dust and disappear, says Willem. Willem Botha is on the move. Sandro Bakari says, I'm not going to get stuck in the traffic. Let me get out of here. Leon van Wyk will come through. Probably will get past him. Sandro Bakari is already standing in the pits. Leon van Wyk going to be coming through. Leon van Wyk coming through. There's Sandro Bakari, and there comes the whole pack. So Sandro Bakari's on his way out of the pits, and everybody comes piling through. JJ decides going around the outside of you, boy. I'm not going to get stuck behind you. Sandro Bakari picks up the tail end of that grouping. But remember, Sandro Bakari is behind Peter van der Spey, his main contender, his main competition right now. They've both been in and out of the pits, and if you look from Sandro Bakari's point of view, in front of him is JJ. In front of that is the man that he actually needs to catch and try and beat as they go through the Dagener curve underneath the crossover. Now, JJ is a perfect buffer for Peter van der Spey right now. So Peter van der Spey is not going to be Mr. Nice and let JJ go through, and then Sandro's got free access to get in underneath his back wing. Peter van der Spey has got to try and keep JJ behind him. If he can get that right, or he can back JJ up into Sandro if need be, that makes it more difficult for Sandro with two cars very close to one another. The front car playing a defensive line and JJ stuck between the two grandmasters out there. So keep in mind that everybody back to 6th position has not gone into the pits yet. Are they going to come in this time around? Though you'd see it on the screen around about now. If they were coming in, nope, everybody goes through. 7 minutes 52, 5 of the 15 laps. And Sandro Bakari, as we ride, oh, Johan Verree. Johan Verree puts in the fastest lap time. And Johan Verree, oh, is that Timothy Stanton that went wide? Or is that Robbie Teens? Robbie Teens runs it wide, comes back on track. Timothy Stanton, Johan Verree past Timothy Stanton. Ah, there we go. Timothy Stanton, they just drifted it wide. Four-wheel power slide, four-wheel braking slide for him. That's what happened there as JJ is trying all the moves on the back end of Peter van der Spey. Peter van der Spey's got to hold him out. He cannot let him go. Peter van der Spey with JJ behind him, holding out Sandro Bakari, who's trying to close down Timothy Stanton directly ahead of Peter, but Gerald Verree has decided it's pressure time. He flashes the lights for them. Let's go, boy. I got Johan Engelbrecht behind us as a bit of a buffer. Johan Engelbrecht's having the race of his life. Johan Engelbrecht is driving like a master. Not a grandmaster, a master. Beautiful, beautiful drive by Johan Engelbrecht. His best so far. All season long. I mean, Willem Botha, Gerald Verree. Top 2 out of the top 5 in every single race. And he can see them. Johan Engelbrecht can see the front 2 out of his front windows. There they are. Johan Engelbrecht, brilliant. What a drive. Taking a curve. Crossover. Up the hill. It's hairpin time. Past the Dunlop flag. Oh, look at that. So smooth. Bringing that main circuit experience into play with this motor car. Johan Engelbrecht, 10 minutes in of the 25. Still got to go into the pits. Having said that, Robbie Teens is having a look at the back end of Leonardo. Is Leonardo going to do the block? If he doesn't, that is as close as it gets. Well done, Leonardo Bakari. Thou shalt not rattle me, says Leonardo Bakari. And Willem Botha getting towards the pit lane and decides to go straight past. Gerald Verree goes through. Johan Engelbrecht goes through. Christian van Wyk goes through. Leonardo, he's got open ground in front of him. There's no reason to go in. He's got Robbie Teens all over his back bumper. Behind that is going to be Leon van Wyk. There's our lead man of those who've been in and out of the pits. And he's done a pretty decent job, I must say. Leon van Wyk, again, the driver of race number 1, the Magnet, ahead of the man from Induction Noise, powered by ROWE Lubrication. Neil Lamprecht, on paper he's Daniel. To his friends is Neil. There comes Johan Ferry. Came up second in race number 1. Fastest qualifier, second in race number 1. One little error. Now he's fighting his way through. Remember, in front of Johan Ferry is Neil and Leon. Should Willem come out of the pits behind them, that is another problem solved for him. Sandro Bakari is now onto the back end of Peter van der Spey. And it's going to be pressure, pressure, pressure. Couple of seconds from now, we'll be exactly halfway through the time. 12 minutes and 30 seconds. That's exactly halfway into the race. And Sandro Bakari has got the missile lock switched on. He's got his finger on the fire button. And he's looking at the car directly in front of him. He's got to keep an eye on the one behind him. So, Gerald Ferry goes in, and so does Christian van Wyk. Johan Engelbrecht has gone through, so has Willem Botha. So Robbie Teens comes across the line. Remember, Robbie has not been in yet. He's going to be of the very last people that's going to go in. Gerald Ferry is on his way out. Leonardo Bakari is on his way out. Christian van Wyk is there, and Neil goes through, and he brings with him Johan Ferry. So Leon van Wyk has been ousted from the front end of the grid by Gerald Ferry, and that with a better part of 3 seconds. Gerald Ferry, kudos to Gerald Ferry ahead of Leon van Wyk. Timothy Stanton trying his best on the back end of Christian van Wyk. He lost out desperately, did Timothy Stanton, the fastest accountant in South Africa in iRacing, in race number 1 when he had that massive front end cruncher. Hobbled it back to the pits on 3 wheels. Oh, look at that one behind us. JJ right on the back end there of Sandro Bakari. Well, that's actually good news for Peter van der Spey, because if JJ van der Merwe can squeeze Sandro Bakari and force him to ride protective lines, that will just give that comma what zat millimeter of a second to be able to hold on to that one. As Timothy Stanton's all over the back end of Christian van Wyk. Willem Botha has gone into the pits. Johan Engelbrecht has gone into the pits. Where is Robbie Teens? He has not gone in, and here comes Gerald Ferry. Gerald Ferry from Willem Botha. Gerald Ferry from Willem Botha. And it's Willem Botha. Whoa! By a millimeters, Willem Botha. But those tires are cold, and Gerald Ferry is going to do the I'm on warm tires, you just come out of the pits maneuver, while Willem's got to get some form of rhythm going there. Willem Botha with Gerald Ferry directly in there behind him. Now, Gerald Ferry didn't have great results in race number 1, so he'll be wanting to make sure that he gets it through there. Gerald Ferry, remember, in race number 1, he had a 6th position in race number 1. That's not good enough for his needs at this stage of the fight from a championship point of view. So Gerald Ferry will be pushing very, very hard. Now, keep in mind that the gap between Robbie Teens and Willem Botha is not enough for Johan Engelbrecht with a black alongside his name. Oh, Neil Lamprecht. What's happened to Neil Lamprecht? Let's see what happened to Neil. Back end just steps out. Johan Fourie. What amazing reflexes, Johan Fourie. He makes it look so easy. He just comes right around on the outside. Says, thanks, mate. No sweat. I'll take that one away from you. As Robbie Teens goes into the pits, which means Willem Botha takes the lead. Gerald Fourie is going to go through. Leon van Wyk goes through. There comes Johan Fourie, having just made sure that he doesn't get into that possible difficult situation. Neil Lamprecht on the recovery. Christian van Wyk. Oh, can you believe it? That was not good for Peter van der Spey. Exactly what Peter van der Spey did not need right now. Just climbs on the gas a little bit too quickly. Gets it going very quickly. I'm sure he practiced some French with that one. He must be livid with himself for that little error. And that's going to cost him big time. Oh, so big time. That is the last thing that he could have happen to him now. Let's see if we can pick that one up from the cockpit of Peter van der Spey. 6th, 5th, 4th. He climbed on the brakes to make sure he did not make any kind of contact with Christian van Wyk, and he sacrificed himself for the sake of not hitting into the back of Christian van Wyk. Well, Neil Lamprecht has got nothing to do with that battle. Neil Lamprecht has got just one thing in his sights, and that's the M&M car in the hands of Timothy Stanton. Climbs the curbstones both sides. The man from Induction Noise, powered by ROWE Lubrication. Is that slipstream going to be enough? Is that slipstream going to be enough? He's getting closer and closer and closer. Just not close enough. Now he's going to try and do that proverbial closes in and out. Nope, not going to happen right now. Let's go one further back. There's Christian van Wyk with Sandro Bakari behind him. Sandro Bakari is at the front end of the Super Seniors. 19 minutes and 21 seconds. He almost had the run on Christian there. He just backed out of the gas as they're going to the Dagener curve underneath the crossover. There was actually a very safe move that Sandro Bakari did. He was up where he needed to be and then decided, nope, I'm not going to take the chance now and take myself out of this. I'm ahead of my biggest competitor, Peter van der Spey. I'm ahead of Robbie Teens. I'm ahead of Leonardo. I'm ahead of Johan Engelbrecht. 5 Super Seniors in this race this evening. Powered by Induction Noise. Yet another driver that likes to shortchange in that session. Coming through that left-hand corner. Saying, let's rather play it safe. Through the last curve. Casio triangle. Last curve. Another short change that we just picked up there. And Johan Fourie puts in yet another fastest lap time. Johan Fourie 1.3 behind Willem Botha. 3 laps. Can Johan Fourie do the fight back on Willem Botha? Remember, Willem Botha started towards the front end of the pack this time around. And he's made up Johan Fourie 7 positions, having started in second. Willem Botha's dropped down to third. So the man on the move between the two of them is definitely Johan Fourie. But is it enough? Keep an eye on the gap between Neil Lamprechts and Timothy Stanton. Very close there as well. Inside of half a second between the two of them. As we keep an eye on Johan Fourie. 21.5 minutes in, trying to chase down Willem Botha, having just put up the fastest lap of 146.87. That is notably quicker than the last lap of Willem Botha, 148.23. And having said that, Neil has had an incident. Oh, can you believe it? It was up on the M&M car. Gets it up on the inside, and unfortunately they make contact. And he eventually gets it going again. So that was Neil Lamprechts and Timothy Stanton. Timothy Stanton did get going again pretty quickly. Gerald Fourie, Leon van Wyk, Willem Botha. Oh, Johan Fourie. Doo-da, doo-da, doo-da. Johan Fourie be closing. The last lap, Johan Fourie did a 147.1. It took 0.5, a half a second out of Willem Botha. He's pushing very hard for that extra position. Catching Willem's one thing. Pass him. Have a nice day when you get there. It ain't going to be easy. But Leon van Wyk on Gerald Fourie. Leon van Wyk. Pass Gerald Fourie. Have a nice day. It's not going to happen that easily. And JJ van der Merwe can make up a whole bunch of places right now. Because look at that. JJ van der Merwe is right there. And JJ makes use of it. Sander Bakari makes the error, and JJ says thank you, very nice. I'll take that one. And through without too much difficulty. Gets to make that one stick. Leon van Wyk on Gerald Fourie. The magnet once again in second position. The magnet Leon van Wyk. Sitting this time on the back end of Gerald Fourie, not Johan Fourie. Johan Fourie has now got to within 0.6. The white flag comes out. The white flag comes out. Gerald Fourie, Willem Botha, Johan Fourie. Nice drive by Timothy Stanton, going a whole bunch better than the previous race as he comes through for the white. Look at that behind him. Neil Lamprechts, Christian van Wyk, JJ van der Merwe. Sandra Bakari still the leading super senior out there from Robbie teams. Leonardo is doing exceptionally well. Leonardo Bakari ahead of Peter van der Spey. And then not a great one at the end of the day for Johan Engelbrecht. It was going so well earlier on. Gerald Fourie. Oh, Willem Botha ran it very, very wide through Dagener. Willem Botha. Can we say Willem Botha is feeling the pressure? Because Willem Botha is normally utterly unshakable. As they work their way through, they are on the last lap. Gerald Fourie. For the last time. Down the hill into the dip they're going to go. Take the climb. Work your way past Spoon Curve through the back stretch. Into Leon van Wyk. Moment of glory. Gerald Fourie is going to take it this time around. Gerald Fourie for the checkered flag. Gerald Fourie from Leon van Wyk, from Willem Botha, from Johan Fourie. That is literally how close they were when they went across the line. Well done. Timothy Stanton rounds out the top 5. Making good in race number 2. From Neil Lamprechts. Whoopsie. Christian van Wyk, JJ van der Merwe, they have a massive pile-up after they've come across the line. Here comes Robbie teams. Robbie Teams comes across the line from Leonardo Beccari, Peter van der Spey. Trundling across the line comes Johan Engelbrecht. And he takes the checkered flag. Wow, what a race! What a race! Beautiful stuff. That was amazing. Utterly amazing. Alrighty, yo, Flo. Let's have a look at the results of this one in the feature. Let's just clear the screen there for you. And let's have a look at the feature race. Gerald Fourie from Leon van Wyk, Willem Botha, Johan Fourie, Timothy from Neil Christian JJ. Sandra winning out with the Grandmasters from Robbie, Leonardo, Peter and Johan. Driver of race number 2. You got to give it to Gerald Fourie. You got to give it to Gerald Fourie. I mean, he was rock solid, super smooth, calculating all the way through. Yeah. Driver of race number 2, Gerald Fourie. Driver of the round. Now, I've got my finger on qualifying 3rd, winning race number 1, and coming up 2nd in race number 2. Driver of this round, Leon van Wyk. Got to go to Leon van Wyk. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant stuff, Leon van Wyk. Super smooth. Gerald Fourie, driver of race number 2, and Leon van Wyk, driver of race number 1. Once again, brilliant by Sandra Beccari. Robbie Teams looking pretty decent. Johan Engelbrecht having some very quick laps in that 2nd race. Not sure why he dropped off so much, because Johan Engelbrecht was lying in that 3rd position for a long, long time. Unfortunately, ended up at the tail end of the field, but I think kudos to Johan Engelbrecht that had a very, very strong showing. A massive thanks to Induction Noise, powered by ROWE Lubrication, being our sponsor for the season, and specifically just for season 15, round number 10 in the Honda HPDs at Suzuka. Well, that wraps it up for the evening. Thank you so much for joining and watching. I hope you enjoyed it. There's still 2 more rounds to go after this one. It's going to be a stonker. I think let's just have a look-see quickly before you go, before I relieve you. Johan Fourie, 580. He'll be closed down quite a bit. Remember, Leon van Wyk was 1 ahead of him in race number 1, but a couple of positions ahead of him in race number 2. Well, in fact, he was 2 positions ahead, so that's not going to be enough for Leon van Wyk to get right onto the back of Johan Fourie. JJ van der Merwe, 522. Gerald Fourie, 518. I think Gerald's probably going to move up into a top 3 in my book. And Neil Lamprecht's on the 493 on Willem. Willem with that 1 bad result. I think Neil Lamprecht might just jump Willem Botha as well. That is quite possible. Let's have a look at the Grandmasters points. Peter van der Spey from Robbie Teens, Sandra Beccari. Yeah, definitely Peter van der Spey will have a depleted lead on Robbie Teens and a depleted gap between himself and Sandra Beccari. They will catch up quite a bit, but from 450 to 661 due to missing out 1 or 2 races, I think, in fact, that Sandra's missed out. Can you make up that space? Not going to be very easy. Well, that's it for me for now. Gary Gazer from Second Gear Productions. Thanks very much. See you same time next week. Cheers, everybody.